Hey there, I'm Mateo from YURS, and in this tutorial I will show you how to set up a custom remote script for a YURS controller using the YURS, which is the YURS Universal Remote Script for Ableton Live. You can check this other video to see more details about the YURS and its different functions. But just to summarize, our remote script is a piece of code that works in between Ableton Live and your controller, and it helps translate the MIDI controller messages into Ableton functions. So let's start with the beginning. For this tutorial, I brought MOSTRA. It's this small controller which I designed, and I really like it. It's kind of the split in two mixer with this massive button grid in the middle. So I will set it up. I will show you how to configure it in Kilowhat in order to work with the custom remote script. And I will show you the different steps that you have to follow in order to make everything work. Note that you can use the YURS with YURS controller, but also with other brands controller that are MIDI configurable. So take this tutorial as a reference. If you have another YURS controller, it will help you to know all the different steps. And to begin, we will start by checking at the YURS forum post in our forum, which is forum.yaeltex.com. You will find the link below. And if we go there, we'll find this post. This will keep always updated to the latest version of the script. And if you see here, it's my brother's post here, Ale, which has the main links that you'll need to use in order to set up your script and to understand it. It has also as a list of all the features that you will be able to set up with the script. And to start, we will first download it. So we'll just click here in download script, and we'll save that document into our download folder. So go there, I already have it, of course, but I will download it anyways. And also we have this other link that I suggest that you open because you will use it. And it will bring you here. You will see this list a lot while you set up your script. And also you have this useful link, the user guide. This is a work in progress, but it will help you as this tutorial to set up your script. So first we will put this script into its right place. So let's go to the folder where this is downloaded. This is in downloads, and we have it here. So first we will uncompress this file. This is pretty much the same process in Windows or in Mac. So it has some slight differences. But in Mac, for example, what we will need to do here is to paste this controller into Ableton's MIDI remote script folder. So first of all, we'll find that. We'll open a new tab here and search for applications. We're doing this in Ableton 12. This works also in Ableton 11, but we will be using Ableton 12 for this tutorial. And we'll go to App Resources, MIDI Remote Scripts, and this is where you need to put your YURS Universal folder. So we'll do that, and here we have it. So one important thing to do is that we open this map.py file. You can open it with any basic text editor, and you'll see here, this is very important, some settings that we can tweak of our script. So for example, the most common thing that we'll need to change, if you see the red box here, it's now set up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 4. But our clip launcher actually was 7 by 7 because we had because we have the scene launcher and the stop clips. So it's 7 by 7. We need to set up that in this file. So in session box, we will put 7 by 7. We'll save this, Command save, we'll close it, and we need to restart Ableton in order to those changes to apply. Now we need to understand how we will use this script. And for that, we need to plan our script. For example, what I will be doing with MOSTRA, I will show you right away. So this is my script plan. You'll see here that I will use this controller as a 7-channel mixer, 1 to 7 volumes I will have in the faders. I will have 1 to 7 volumes. I have the master volume here. I will have sends A and B here in each track, and the return track levels in these two, as you see here. Then I will use the grid. I will have some free buttons up here. Also the navigation buttons for the clip launcher. I will have some transport controls in the top right corner. I will have my clip launcher in this 8x8 space. And I will have clip launchers, scene launchers, stop all clips, and stop each track clips. I will leave this part below just to play notes inside a track. And I will have mute, solo, select, and arm for each track. So that's my plan. That's what I can and I will control with this script. Let's move forward in setting it up. And just as a note, I have all the different possibilities to put MIDI inside Ableton here. So I have the script. That's one way to set it up as a control surface. That's what I'm doing with the script. I also have notes that I will put and send to Ableton in a specific track. And I also have some free buttons to map regularly in Ableton. So we can do all those three things at the same time, but we need to set it up correctly in order to for the messages not to mix and to mess with Ableton. So that's my plan. I will do it in parts, and let's go. So I already have the script in Ableton's folder. I will close Ableton. This is important. I suggest that you do it. So I'll save it. I suggest that I don't suggest, you have to close Ableton and open it again after you drop the script into the folder. Ableton reads that list while it starts. So open it from scratch. I'll open it again here. And while it opens, let's start with the beginning. So I will configure MOSTRA with Kilowhat. Kilowhat is a web app that we use and we developed in order to configure YURS controllers. So this is kilowhat.yaeltex.com. If you're a YURS user, you already know it probably. And this is what I will be using in order to configure this controller. Let me unplug it and replug it just to have this nice pop-up window. So let's start from scratch. I will open the default configuration of MOSTRA, and we will start with that. I will start checking this part, which is the chart, the MIDI chart, which says all the different messages that I will need to set up in the controller. Not only the messages, but also the MIDI channels and the description of those functions. So if you see here, you have the name of the different controls in Ableton, which part of Ableton it is, this section, the MIDI message that we need to send to the controllers, from the controller to Ableton. It's a long list with all the features. And you have also the type of message, if it's note, a CC number message, and the MIDI channel here. And it also says some description, if you need some help understanding what you're trying to set up here. We also have here these 3 MIDI channels, and this is very important. All the other MIDI channels are used into the script, so you will be using 12, 13, 14, and 15 for regular MIDI mapping controls or stuff you want outside of the script. We will start with the transport controls: play, stop, rec, overdub, and with this top section, the 3 buttons to map and the navigation buttons. I see that we have the play, stop, rec, and overdub here from the transport section. And to set them up, I will need to set up these buttons as MIDI message note, type of message note, MIDI message note number 1, that would be, and in channel 5. With stop, it will be note 2, rec 3, and overdub 4. So back in Kilowhat, if we press any button, that will auto-select the card in Kilowhat. So this is very important and I think very useful, but it's just a suggestion. If you're starting, for example, with play, first you might like to set this up and put a comment here that says play, so you know which control you're going to set up. And we knew that we were going to set this. Sorry, I forgot, but this was play is MIDI message note number 1 in channel 5. So I'll go back here and put in parameter. That's the note, the number of note I'm sending. MIDI channel, we said it was 5. And also I'll need to set up the feedback of this button. That means the message it will be waiting to receive to light up or light off. I will set it to value to color. Okay, so now with value to color feature, the button will be waiting a message for Ableton in order to light up. And it will light up in different colors depending on the velocity of that note coming to the controller. Don't worry, just put it in value to color and that will work. So the next one was stop. I will label it stop. That was message number 2, note number 2. It was MIDI channel 5 and it was in color mode, value to color. Just to speed up some processes, if you have some different parameters that are all value to color or all in the same MIDI channel, you can also shift and select, and you can select multiple cards. And for example, I have 2 cards there. I can put both in value to color. Both in value to color and put both in channel 5. Then I can start editing each one of them. So this was rec and it was MIDI channel 3. 3 in channel 5, that's okay. And this was overdub over D, and this was MIDI channel parameter 4. So that's it. With this I should be able to control the transports in Ableton. Let's check it out. The MOSTRA has its new configuration in these buttons. I will come to Ableton. And now this is very important part. To try out if this is working, I have to come here and select the YURS Universal from this list, So to try this out, I will come to the control surface menu, select YURS Universal, and in the inputs I will put MOSTRA, and the output will be MOSTRA as well. Okay, I see some stuff happening over here already. This is probably because the default configuration of this controller matches with some of the parameters of the script, so don't worry about these lights here. What we wanted to test is these transport buttons. So for example, if this works as a play, and it works, stop, and we have rec that puts play as well, and overdub. So we'll stop it, and let's use some set here so we can see this working as it should. Okay, I have my set here, so if I play it, it should start playing, but no clips are playing yet. So let's come here. There you go. I can stop it, I can play it, stop it again, I can rec, stop it again. Okay, I see some lights here already. This is, as I told you, this is just a coincidence between the default messages of this controller and what the script is waiting to receive. Let's keep setting up all the MIDI messages from the MOSTRA and move forward to our plan. So we also wanted these free buttons here and the navigation buttons. So to do this, the only thing I would need to do is to move the MIDI messages that are already set up here into a free channel. So we will be using channel 15 for that, as this says here. Number 15 is one of the free channels, so I can use that. Let's go to Kilowhat again. Okay, so back in Kilowhat, I already labeled these messages as free messages, which are the buttons up here, and already labeled also the up, down, left, and right buttons, and set them up according to the navigation messages we saw here. So 24, 25, 26, 27. And if we check Ableton Live right now, we'll see that the red box here, it's moving while I press these buttons. And also the feedback is useful because it tells us if we have some place to move to the right and to the top. For example, when I move all the way to the right, to the left, the left button turns off because we don't have more space to move. And if we move to the right, it lights up again. And if we move up, the same. And we can already move around our session. In order now to map these free buttons I set up, what I would need to do is to turn on the MOSTRA here in remote input and output. That's what we do with a regular MIDI mapping. And just to test it, I will erase this later. But for example, if I want to map this mute button, I would go to the manual mapping setting, map this button. Now I have bi-directional control of this mute. So I can mute with the button and I can mute within Ableton, and it will work in both ways. Now I will erase it because I have other plans for this mute and is to control it with these buttons. So I go back and erase this. Okay, let's move forward now with the clip launcher. So for the clip launcher, I have all this box here, and this is you have to be patient and work smooth step by step in order to set this up correctly, but it will work as a charm after this. So if we go to the MIDI chart, we'll see that we have here all these messages to set up into a clip launcher. So for example, and you can see this same example here in the description and the comments, but I have from this button to this button to make the clip launcher. So if we go here, the MIDI messages that we will need to send is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From 0 to 6 in the first row in MIDI channel 2. And in the second row, that would be this one, I won't put the next number, but I will put 16 here. Because this is ready for a bigger clip launcher, actually a 16 by 16 clip launcher, which is massive. 16 by 8. So this is ready for a 16 by 8 clip launcher. So what we are doing here is to use only the numbers of the raw until the last one that we need for the size of our clip launcher. Remember that we set up our clip launcher to 7 by 7. So we will use from 0 to 7 here, from 16 to 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22 of the second row, and that on and on as you go below to the list. So for that same, we will go to Kilowhat, we'll select the first number. So this is note number 44, 45, and so on. So the first one, we said it was 0 in channel 2. So we'll do here parameter 0 in channel 2. And we will set up this as a clip launcher. So I'll put clip here just to remember when I later see this configuration. And I will put this in color mode, value to color. Okay, so we'll see here that this has the value to color there, channel 2, note 0, and it's a clip. So I will need to do that with all the different buttons. And remember that if you want to save some time, you can multi-select and change many at once. So I'll move on to show you that. And also remember that we have the scene buttons, the stop all, and the stop each clip of a track. So you need to find that here as well. Scene launchers, for example, our MIDI message number 16 is a note message and it's in channel 3. Scene 2, 17 in channel 3. Scene 3 is 18 in channel 3. So you'll put those messages in these buttons here. And then the stop all, I don't know where it is, but let's find it. So we'll find stop all. I suggest that you search for different functions this way. Stop all, there you go. Stop all clips is message, it's a note, number 127 in channel 3. So that's for our stop all, which is this button here. So we'll do that in Kilowhat and come back. Okay, so if we check the final configuration here, I already have a lot of buttons. They're all set here to value to color, and we have the navigation, and we have all the clips button here. So it's 0 to 7 to 6, as we said. And then we have the scene number 1. Then we have the second row and the scene number 2, the third row and the scene number 3, and so on. And if we load this configuration to the device, we should see this already working as it will be sending or receiving this exact configuration for Ableton. So let's check that out in Ableton. We see some action here already. We see that it loads the color from the clips. For example, these are all red clips, but I can change them to another color. So if we put another color, they will change right away. And you'll see green color for the clips that actually are playing. You'll see no color, like off LEDs when you have no clip. And you'll see some other colors depending on if the clip is waiting to start or if it's waiting to stop. All those different status of the clips will be reflected into and we can also play a whole scene with these buttons. Okay, so we have the clip launcher running. Sorry, we also have the stop for each track. And we have the stop all button. So we're done with the first parts. Now we will set these buttons to work inside Ableton to send messages into, for example, a synth or a drum rack. So we'll set these messages to another channel, another free channel, which would be channel number 14. And then when we want a specific channel in Ableton to receive that, we will just select to receive these MIDI messages from the controller. We can't see it now, but this has a specific reason, and it's because our input and output ports are not selected as tracks. So we will do that and turn on this. And now we will be able to see YURS MOSTRA from this list. But we won't listen to every channel, because that way we will be listening to channels that are working with the script. We will be just listening to channel 14, which is the one we're going to set for these messages. After the stop all button, I have this one, but it's in channel 1. So I will need to change this button and all the next buttons until here to channel 14. Sorry, not this one, because this is my last row. I almost fucked it up. This one would be my first button. So this is my first button from this note part, and this one is my last button. So all of these I will need to set them as channel 14. And to do it, I can do it with a multi-selection. So let's see how that will work, and I can set them as notes and put them all in channel 14. All right, let's send that configuration to the controller. So I already set this in MIDI channel 14, and now I'm moving forward with the mute, solo, select and arm buttons. I found these messages here in the chart. So for example, mute section is here, track 1 would be channel 1, and MIDI message 0, it's a note message, and so on. Track 2 will be MIDI message 1. Beware with this starting from 0 list, because 0 will be 1, 1 will be 2, and so on. So I already paste those messages and set these messages up in Kilowhat. So you'll see here that I have mute 1, mute 2, mute 3, and so on. So let's send this configuration to the controller and see how this works in Ableton. Okay, so here we see that all our channels are not mute, but if we turn them on and or off from the software, they light up, and it should be both ways, and it's working. Okay, so let's see what happens. I don't have any clips playing here, so I will start some. If you've seen, when I play a clip, it also auto-selects the track. That's how it works in Ableton. I think you can set it up differently, but in this case, this LED is also showing us which track is being selected. So we can select different clips, and we can also solo. Okay, so now we see that the mutes are working. And the solo is working as well. Okay, we did a lot already, but now we're missing some of the settings we wanted to do here. We will move forward with the volumes. Now, that's a pretty easy one. So we have volumes 1 to 7, and then we have the master volume. So let's do, as we always do, go back to the MIDI chart. Let's find the volume tracks. That should be somewhere around here. Volume. So the volume are CC messages. We will use from 0 to 6 in channel 1. So let's do that in Kilowhat. So back in Kilowhat, we will find with our first fader, these are the analog controls. This controller has only these faders as analog controls. Analogs are potentiometers, faders, joysticks. And we will need to set up then this as CC message 0. It's a CC message already, and in channel 1. So this is okay. We will move forward with the next one, but don't forget to put your comments. So we can put volume 1. We can put volume 2. This will be parameter 1. This will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I can put just volume as a comment here. It's not necessary to have all the numbers. And then we have here, we needed the master volume. So the master volume, we'll have to check it out here again. We'll try to find it. Master volume, there it is. It's MIDI message 127 in MIDI channel 1. So it's 127 in channel 1. There we go. Let's send it to the device and see how this works. Okay, we're back in our dear Ableton. Let's play some stuff. What's happening? Oh, our solo is on. Sorry. And this is working already. Oh, everything's working already. All right. Note that we can't, if you're familiar with MIDI mapping, you might remember that you can limit the minimum and maximum values when you map, for example, a fader. If you don't want that fader to reach 6 dB, for example, and you want the top to be another value with a lower amplitude in the faders, you cannot do that from Ableton. So you will be doing that straight from Kilowhat. So what you would do that there is to, in this case, we'll select all of them and change the maximum MIDI values that the controller fader will be sending. In this case, we'll put something like, see that, and that should limit the top value of the fader. That way we are sure, for example, if we play live, that we won't be reaching 6 dBs in a live situation, which might be bad. So now, if we put our faders all the way to the top, we see that we are not reaching even 0 dB. So we can make sure we can put everything up and we won't be up the 0 dBs. Remember, if you work with the script, you have to do this from the MIDI configuration of the controller itself and not from Ableton. So, last thing, I want to have send A, send B, and these encoders up here to work as an automatic control for the first device inside each track. For example, if we have a track like this, I want this device macro. This is an audio effect rack, and this is a macro. So I want to have these upper 8 encoders controlling the 8 macros on that audio effect rack. So send A, send B, and device control. And that should be all for our controller. We also will have here the volumes of the A and B return tracks. So to set that up, as we did before and as you already know, we have to go to the MIDI chart again and find the send A. Let's find it here. Send A. Send AR for track 1 is 0, for track 2 is 1, and all in channel 2. We will have from 0 to 6, and we'll have from 16 to 22, also in channel 2 for the B sends. So let's check our plan. So it was, A and B. If we load another bank to our controller, we can also set the same encoders to be C and D. If we push the encoder, we can do that by creating a new bank into the controller. That's not in this tutorial, but it's pretty easy to do in Kilowhat. So let's go back here, send A. It was 0, 1, and I will put also different colors for the feedback. So I can understand when I'm in A or B. So track 1, it was 0 in channel 2. Let's go back to Kilowhat. Okay, so I want this to be send A, and this, and this, and this, all of these 7 encoders actually. So they are consecutive here in Kilowhat. So I will select this from 8 to here. All of these would be send A, and I will put them all in MIDI channel 2 as we saw previously we needed to, and we'll set up as 0. This would be 1. This would be 2, this would be 3, and so on until we have all these rows set up. We'll do the same also with the send B, would be the 7 encoders below. It's the same MIDI channel but different CC numbers. And we will also change the color of those. So for example, if I want to change all the send A colors, I would go to rotation feedback. Here we won't use the value to color setting, because we want a fixed color here. We don't want the script to tell us which color to use. We want to set it up ourselves. So we will go here and set up a nice color for the rotation feedback. Yeah, I think I like that. And for the next 7, this we said it was the return track A. We will use the same color there. And for the next ones, we will also set up another color, something like maybe more green. That could work. So let's put the other messages we need in this send B controls, and also, as we are setting up all the encoders, let's set up these device encoders, which are up here. These are selected device controls, so we can find And let's find it like device. Okay, here we are. So selected track device parameters. So you can use, this is very powerful, so read everything and see what matches your needs. But we want to control the first device, which is where we are going to put our effect track or instrument, and we want to control the first 8 parameters of that first device on our track. So we will use this setting for that. Device 1 is MIDI messages continuous control, CC messages from 0 to 7 in channel 11, sorry. So is this first one, and until the number 7, these are going to be device. I will set them up in MIDI channel 11. And they have to be from 0 to 7. They are already like that. So, and I will keep the color in red and send it to the device. So we already have everything we needed. Let's check it working. Send it to the device. So it seems that we're done with this first configuration of MOSTRA. Let's try it out and see the latest changes we've done. So if we play our session, we are able to navigate. We are now also able to we're also now able to mute tracks, to solo tracks, to select tracks. And if you see, if we move to different selections, we have these, sometimes these encoders on the top updated, because sometimes we have devices on them. So for example, if we go to the first one, we'll see, in this case, the frequency of this filter, low pass filter, that we can control it by selecting the first track. But if we move to another track that has devices, we will also be able to control those macro parameters from the upper encoders of the selected track. Here we have another one. I already set these macro controls to different parameters of my effect track, and they will update also bidirectionally. What else we have in our script? So we have the send A and send B. We have the return tracks here. If we, let's see if this is bidirectional. If I move my return track volume here, it will also update in my controller. I have my master control, I have my solos. What else? I have my navigation, which will update everything, not just the clip launcher, but also the sends, the mutes, everything. That's it. I think it's a pretty good example of what can be done with the YURS. So we expect this tutorial helps you set up your own custom remote script for your YURS or non-Yaeltex but MIDI configurable controller. If you have any questions, please leave us some comments below. You can also visit the forum. You will see the link in the description of this video. In the forum is where we post the latest update and release of the YURS and other tools that we develop in order to integrate our controllers with different softwares. So feel free to visit the forum. Please subscribe to this video, and see you soon. Cheers.